All right, hopefully we're live now because I've had so many goddamn issues. It's ridiculous, but it looks like we're here. So, hey guys, what's going on? Sorry, draft has not begun yet, but I'm a little bit behind. I've got I had all kinds of updates on this computer, and by the time I got it finished, it started messing with me, so I had to keep playing with it. But it looks like I've got everything up and running now, and welcome to Top Rope's live coverage of the draft. You have not missed anything. All we have right now is Drew McIntyre kicking the crap out of Randy Orton, which is nothing new. And we'll probably get him 9 more title shots. So, while I'm saying that, let's see if we can get some stuff out there for the people. Hopefully, we'll get the rest of the TRWT3 in as well. Again, I'm truly sorry, guys. I'm a little flustered at the moment, but I'm working my way back, getting caught up, trying to get with you. I know Friday went so well. I figured, what the heck? Let's try this. And I'll be honest, I know this is supposed to go until 11 o'clock at night. I might not be able to go till 11 o'clock at night. It just depends. But I'm here. I'm gonna give you everything I've got while I've got it. I'm gonna give you as many of the co-hosts as I can get you. It's gonna be fun. Either way, it's gonna be fun. That no disqualification match with Owens and Aleister Black ought to be pretty awesome too. All right. Let's see. This thing's still running like a piece of shit. I swear to God, I sat here from about 4:30, 5 o'clock until a few minutes before I got on this feed, updating the computer and restarting it, and updating and restarting it, and updating and restarting it, and it still doesn't want to work. You gotta love the future. All right, let's see here. Yeah, again, I'm almost certain Brucey's going to join us, but he has his football practice till about 8:30. So Coach High Class will be along probably after that, and Grandma Wendy should be here shortly. But until then, I guess you're just stuck with me, guys. Sorry. Brian, what's going on, my man? Nice to see you too, Jay Brown. Oh man, I gotta tell you, this Ric Flair commercial with the Street Profits is killing me every damn time. I know we saw it a lot on Friday, but but still, but yet and still, it's killing me every time I see it. But it looks like at least I'm up and running with you guys, and we're ready to roll. Thank you, Brian, for coming back. I hope we see some more people coming in from Friday because SmackDown show was actually pretty decent. It had some surprises, some which weren't so good. And if you didn't hear, and I'm gonna try to remember them all on Talking Smack, we had Buddy Murphy move to SmackDown. Umberto Carrillo stayed on Raw. Uh, Kalisto was drafted to SmackDown, but not the rest of the Lucha House Party. Tucker actually went to Raw to join Mandy, but Otis was drafted by SmackDown on Friday. So Heavy Machinery is no more. We're still trying to figure out exactly what they're going to do with the New Day on Raw with the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. Um, there's a lot of stuff that kind of shook things up, but nothing that would exactly nothing you could exactly write home to mom about. Like, oh my god, did you see that? Like, the New Day was a big moment. Winning the tag titles were a big moment. Being shipped to Raw almost immediately after was not such a big moment. Hey, Felipe's in the building. What's happening, homie? CWO. Right there, babe. Too sweet. Also, let's hope Scott Hall is not in the kind of trouble they were saying he was in. Let's just hope. But I'm gonna put a pin in that because it looks like we're getting ready for draft picks, guys. So let's see what Steffi Steph has to say. Oh shit. Well, I guess we're not getting Roman in the Fiend at Mania. I mean, there was some talk and speculation of, you know, that happening, but still. Oh boy, Karen drafted to SmackDown. Yay. You know what? I'm actually going to hit record tonight so I can get this on our audio podcast platforms. I apologize again. Okay, Randy Orton's on Raw. Anybody care? I don't. They could have sent him back to OVW for all I gave a shit. Oh, well, I guess we know what's happening with the tag team titles. Profits are on their way to SmackDown, y'all. They actually took Charlotte. Like, isn't she still out? You know, recuperating. Sorry, guys. I just got to try and adjust some stuff because I got my computer right in front of me, thinking that I'm gonna have company, and I could barely see my television past it. There we go. That's better. All right. So I guess the big shocker in the first round of picks is the Fiend going to Raw. The rest are pretty much people staying outside of the Profits going to SmackDown. I and Bruce and even Wendy were actually hoping we were going to get Profits versus New Day to unify the tag team titles, and then those champions will go to each brand, kind of like the women's tag team champions, where they defend on Raw, they defend on SmackDown, even NXT. But I guess we're just having a swap, and I guess these guys will trade titles on the way out the door. Like, here's your blue ones, here's your red ones. Meh. Oh, this could be good though. Owens versus Black in a no DQ match, especially with the Fiend on Raw now. I wonder if Bruce and I actually got the theory right that the Fiend is going to align himself with Aleister Black. We got PETA in the Facebook group chatting along. Like, come to Fox Den, homie. We got you over here. Oh, there he is. Hey, PETA. Yeah, the Fiend was definitely one of those what the fuck moments, but I'm guessing, again, he might align himself with Aleister Black, and they might start some kind of new faction with he and Black, and maybe they draft Alexa Bliss later and go from there. Because like Raw taking Alexa Bliss would have probably been a better move than taking Charlotte off the bat. Because like, no offense to Charlotte, but where's she at? Let's see. What did Peter say? Peter says, "I hope Alexa comes too. You and me both, bruh. You and me both. I'll drink to that. Cheers." Cannonball. And with Kevin Owens, it really is a fucking cannonball. That dude is a thick bastard. And it's all upper body too. He's got like that Bully Ray body. Big gut, big upper body, tiny little legs. I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying it's analysis, people. I told you I was going to give you live draft coverage and analysis. There's some of it. Oh, Owens setting up a table. It's fitting to get good. Maybe the Fiend brought back Evil Owens already. Oh yeah, right, Peter. We have the cross-branded battle royal to determine number one contender for Asuka, if I'm not mistaken. Sorry, I was a little bit more on my game until the whole thing with the computer started, and I've just been a little off since. Oh, and Owens gets gorilla pressed onto the announce table. Ouchtown population, you bro. Hey, Cadrian. No, you same stuff, different day, man. Waiting on the other two of the TRWT3, and we're covering the draft. Everybody's a little shocked by Bray Wyatt going to Raw, but I'm not because I saw some, you see this dirt sheet stuff and you take it with a grain of salt, but when it happens, you're like, you got one, you. Good for you. Way to go. Mac, hey, what's going on, man? Well, so far we have Bray Wyatt moving to Raw, and we have the Street Profits moving to SmackDown now that the New Day have come to Raw. So I guess we're not going to have any kind of unification tag match. We're just going to have tag champs trade places. Do they like hand each other their respective belts on the way out? Like, here's your red ones. Okay, here's the blue ones. Bye, guys. Nice knowing you. Never mind putting those four in a ring. That might be an amazing match that people would want to watch. And with WWE, we can't have that. This is why we can't have nice things, Vince. This is why. See the first picks of the draft tonight. Yes, exactly, Peta. Dirt sheets are like a broken clock. If you're lucky, they're right twice a day. Like the sun will shine on a dog's ass from time to time. Those are dirt sheets. The dog's ass. All right. While this is on commercial, I'm gonna check on the game. I know it's early, but yeah, I don't see us. They're on commercial too. Damn it. Okay. Because we also have Saints and Chargers going on ESPN, and I don't think the Saints have much of a problem with the Chargers tonight, but I do like the Chargers' young quarterback. I think the kid's got skill. If I get not wrestling related for a moment. Thank you, Cadrian. I was saying that on Friday. Like we need to split the Miz and Morrison 2008 called. They want their tag team back. These guys are too good individually to be stuck in this dead end collectively. Because that's another thing about it is you got the Miz and Morrison on Raw, right? Tucker just got drafted to Raw. Mandy is on Raw, but Otis is on SmackDown. These guys were feuding leading up to the draft. How does that happen now when you're missing one of the key elements? And what the hell do you do with Tucker more importantly? Because, like, he came up with Otis, their heavy machinery. Like, now he's just a singles competitor. Like, hello, jobber status. I don't know what you do with him now. Do you stick him in Raw Underground or something? Like, that's the only thing I can think of. Otis still may get drafted. No, Peta, he got drafted by SmackDown on Friday, so he's staying on SmackDown. The rest of them are headed to Raw, which makes no sense. Just like it would have made total sense to draft the New Day to Raw if you were planning on having some kind of title unification match with the Profits. But then you drafted then the Profits get drafted to SmackDown. Now it makes no sense. You recycle storylines, but then what you have you don't run with, and what you could possibly do to bring fans in and pull people in and get eyes on your product, you're like, nah, who wants to see the Profits versus the New Day anyway? I don't know, like damn near everyone. I mean, if I'm wrong, leave it in front of me, guys. I know you're chatting along with me, and I appreciate it. It's so good to see you guys again. But which one of us wouldn't want to see the New Day take on the Street Profits? I know Wendy wanted to see it because we talked about it on Friday. I know Bruce and I have talked about it before. I know I do. The question is anyone in our live chat, in our wonderful audience here on a Monday night, are you in the same boat? Or are you just like, nah, I don't really need Profits versus New Day. We're cool. Yeah, it's another good question, Peter. Who will the Profits fight on SmackDown? Well, the Profits barely got any real fights on Raw. I mean, they went bowling. They fought Andrade and Angel a dozen or so times. They had the one matchup with Rudolph, and that's been like their whole run because WWE is getting rid of tag teams left, right, and center. Ooh, DDT on the chair. Nice, Owens. A farewell address to the Monday Night Messiah, who's now on Friday. Anybody know what to call him yet, by the way? Because you can't call him the Monday Night Messiah if he's on a Friday. Hmm. You're right. There's always Peter's right. There's always Cesaro and Shinsuke versus the Profits, which we had on Raw already, if you recall, when they had the tag team titles. The two of them fought, but we can't get the New Day and the Profits in the ring together. Like, really? What? Like, why the hell not? Get I seriously I wanted like a tag title unification match at like Hell in a Cell in a Hell in a Cell with the Profits and the New Day. And I'm glad Big E can continue his push on SmackDown as a singles competitor, but it made it feel even worse that they had to pull him away from the New Day as well. They could fight to swap belts. These are mine, man. Yeah, I like that, Peter. I like that. Thank you. Um, I needed that laugh with all the crap I had going on. Oh, damn, my son is wilding out at this match. Sounds like somebody's having a ball back there. Hi, little psycho. Oh, oh, Man, I if you guys are actually watching Raw, Aleister Black just did like a double knee Meteora type move off the top and caught Owens, and then both of them went through a set of steel chairs that were lined up, and that was Ouchtown Population 2. Because I know it hurt Owens, but even Aleister Black jumped up holding his knees. It's like, well, duh. If you land on steel chairs, knees first, it hurts. True story. I wish I had more. I could just put up the more you know, like just that little graphic in front of my face. I don't know how to do it, guys. Sorry, that's the best I got. The whole work in the ring post doesn't seem as bad as it used to now that they've surrounded it with those LEDs. I mean, no, it's a huge staple of wrestling, but when you throw somebody into a ring post that used to be steel but is now covered in LEDs, it doesn't seem as painful. Oh shit, Owens won. Got to hit the stunner, power bomb through a table. See ya, wouldn't want to be ya, Alistair Black. The question is, does the Fiend pop out now? Oh, he still has the evil tattoo. I thought he covered it up. I'm sorry. I just noticed it when the ref raised his hand. It was right here. And the Thunderdome goes wild. I love it. You see people like almost less animated than me, like, yay. And you're on TV and I'm over here on YouTube with my people. Like, shouldn't you be a little bit more animated than me? I'm just saying. That was brutal though. I enjoyed the hell out of that match. Where the heck is everybody? Not you guys. I'm not talking about the people in the chat. I'm talking about our wonderful hosts. I think grandma ended up taking a nap, but don't quote me on that one. Brucey should be home any minute. Ugh, Mandy and Dana. Ugh. On Miz TV. Oh boy, we're gonna somehow continue this feud without the main person in it. Again, doesn't make a lot of sense to me. And believe me, like I know they're going to commercial, guys, but if you got any questions about anything wrestling, even if it isn't wrestling related, I got a lot of time to cover tonight. So please feel free to drop something in this chat that you want to talk about if you got something to ask me. Um, I did get one question, but it's not exactly something that I want to put on YouTube. It was something about a former co-host that isn't with us anymore, and I don't know how to cover it without, you know, losing my shit. So I will answer that question privately, but if you guys have anything, please feel free, drop it in the chat, ask away. I'm here for you, hopefully until 11, because I'll be honest, I'm tired. That's why I'm set up on my couch tonight. It's like if I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna be comfy. I'm gonna just watch. I'm gonna enjoy myself. And if it gets too late or I get too sleepy, I'm just gonna be like, all right, guys, deuces. But I mean, as far as the draft has gone so far, we've had a few big changes, but all in all, things have kind of stayed the same. Like AJ Styles has gone to Raw. But that wasn't really shocking once Paul Heyman showed up to back Roman Reigns, because AJ went to SmackDown in the first place to get away from Paul Heyman. So, of course, if Paul Heyman comes to SmackDown, what do you think AJ Styles is going to do? He's going to want to get away from Paul Heyman again. So, Raw drafts him. Shocking. I know. Um, the New Day was a bit of a shock, but it's a bit of an aggravating shock. Like it was shocking to see them come back because you weren't sure when that would happen. Then when it did, everybody got excited, and then they won the tag team titles. And I know, like, I was marking out, Wendy was marking out, and then Stephanie showed up on the ramp and said, "Hey, you two are going to Raw, and you're staying here. Bye." It's like, oh, so deflating. Let's see what we got here. Oh shit. Okay, so in case anybody's wondering and not watching, the Chargers are actually leading the Saints about halfway through the first quarter, 6-0. Justin Herbert is the truth, by the way. I'm sorry. I know I said rookie quarterback, and I kind of had a brain fart on what his name was, but that kid Justin Herbert, he is legit. Like, he is a star already. And also, now that I've gone back to USA and I see her on the commercial, it is so good to have Ember Moon back in a wrestling ring. And I mean, she tore her Achilles, did a bunch of other stuff, and honestly, her career was in jeopardy when she left. So to see her back is just a huge hit me in the feels moment. Speaking of moments, it's time for more draft picks. Let's see what happens. Yes, the world's most influential CMO. Yada yada yada. Yeah, everybody. BMW. They're all looking up to Stephanie McMahon. Everybody. Everybody. Bill Gates wishes he was Stephanie McMahon. Okay. And yes, Mac. Justin Herbert is quite nice.
Now, with the first pick of the second round of the WWE Draft, Raw is going to experience the wreckage of the monster, Braun Strowman.
Okay, so if Braun's coming to Raw, does that mean he still gets his title match with Roman on Friday?
Remaining on SmackDown, they'll say yes to the leader of the Yes Movement and the B Plus player. Sorry, Daniel
Okay,
Bryan.
you need to stop with that B plus player shit at this point, Stephanie, or I'm gonna keep going back to Jericho and calling you a bottom feeding trash bag hoe. Like, that's low even for you.
And Raw selects the original Bro, Matt Riddle.
Matt Riddle to Raw. Okay, so the bro just debuted on SmackDown like what, 2 months ago, and now he's moving to Raw. Even in the midst of all this controversy and lawsuits and things. Huh. All right, so much for that feud with Owens and Bray, because Bray went to Raw and now Owens is going to SmackDown.
And headed to Raw, the
Go figure.
charismatic enigma, Jeff Hardy.
Oh, Jeff Hardy's back on Raw. Okay. So things are shaking up a bit now. I mean, the only one that really stayed in the same spot in this round is Daniel Bryan, and we haven't seen him in a minute. But I mean, Braun going to Raw, okay. Riddle to Raw is a little baffling to me, but all right, all right. Kevin Owens to SmackDown. I guess he'll be better off, but I don't know. Oh God, Miz and Morrison. Here we go. Putting it back on mute, folks. Sorry. Yeah, Mac, you're right. They barely did anything with Riddle on SmackDown. He had a great match with AJ in his debut, and he had a feud with Baron Corbin, and Chad Gable got in on it, and that was pretty much it. But now with all the stuff coming to light in his accuser's lawsuit, I'm amazed he's even on a roster, let alone moving to Raw. Yeah, KO to SmackDown. That's a little bit of a head scratcher, but yeah, the draft doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Like you bring the Fiend over, and Aleister Black is there, and they've both been feuding with Kevin Owens. So the next step is to move Kevin Owens to SmackDown. You give Braun Strowman a Universal title rematch, and then you draft him to Raw, where you already have the SmackDown Tag Team Champions. It's like I know you're trying to shake things up, but you're not making any sense at the same time, guys. Like again, I'll say it like I did on Friday with Grandma Wendy. I got the big ears, which makes me damn near Vulcan, and I'm just looking for some logic in all this. I know in wrestling there's not a lot of logic, but still, at least make a little bit of make a tiny bit of sense. Just this much. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm scratching my head. I'm scratching my head and I'm staring at Mandy and Dana. Whew. Sorry, guys. Sorry. I don't have my soundboard up, or else you'd be hearing "Hello, nurse." Yeah, I don't know. Like I'll ask you guys, like I asked Wendy, because I know some of you might have been here and some of you weren't. Does it feel like WWE is playing with fire with these guys like Matt Riddle and Velveteen Dream and Austin Theory, who have been accused of doing all these horrible things, and are being investigated for all these horrible things, yet they're still out here on SmackDown and Raw and NXT, and doing what they do as if nothing happened. Because to me, it feels like it could blow up in your face something horrible, and I know you'll have a way out of it by saying, well, we just let them do what they do. We just let them do what they do until blah 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 blah, and the investigation closes and all that good stuff. But yeah, it seems like at least in the least it's not a good look, and at worst it could kind of throw some liability your way. It's definitely not a good PR move, but then you get named in a lawsuit because you've been letting these guys out here doing their thing. So yes, yes, I was just saying that, Mac. Mandy and Dana look whew, damn good. All right, Brian. Well said. Well said. WWE doesn't give a shit about morals. It all goes back to Vince McMahon. You're not wrong there. I cannot confirm nor deny that myself, but you don't sound wrong. That's all. I'm going to leave it at that. I mean, morals and Vince McMahon haven't gone hand in hand in a long time, if ever. So, oh, we get Natalia and Lana. Whew, shit is about to get thick. I mean, hot. I mean, serious. I don't know what I mean anymore. I'm just gonna shut up. What were we talking about? Oh, right, Vince McMahon and morals. Yeah, there aren't any. Right. Hey, let me dip out for 1 sec, guys. I just gotta grab something. Hang on. This is usually easier when I have a co-host, but I will be. Just give me one little second here. All right, sorry about that. I'm just obviously not going to dip outside for a cigarette while I'm sitting here talking with you guys and watching this show. So I've got the trusty e-cig, but the battery died, so I had to pop the one off the charger. And, you know, stuff I normally have prepared when my computer is functioning properly. And obviously, it didn't want to do that today. The Battle of the Blondes. Yes. What we call this? Like the cookie cutter bowl? The cookie cutter clash between four blondes? Vince McMahon's dream. Oh man, I gotta tell you guys, if I can't find one of our co-hosts soon, I may just offer up a one night only position to somebody in our chat here. Like I keep messaging our lovely members of the TRWT3 like, "Hey, where's everyone? Hello. Come help out. Wake up, Wendy." Nothing. So I might honestly just throw it out to our chat here, see who wants to be a host for the night. Help me break down this draft. I mean, it's definitely nice to know they're still thinking about Daniel Bryan on SmackDown. That's always good. It's been some months since we saw him last at this point. Ever since ever since Bree had baby number 2. So, I don't know if we should get our hopes up that we see a Daniel Bryan comeback. Uh-huh. Who has been drafted so far? Let's see. We had The Fiend go to Raw. We had Charlotte stay on Raw. SmackDown has gotten uh oh god. SmackDown kept Daniel Bryan, got Kevin Owens. The Street Profits went to SmackDown. Um Trying to remember the rest. There were a lot of people who stayed in one spot. Like Braun Strowman has moved to Raw from SmackDown, which is odd because he has a Universal Title match coming up. The Street Profits moved. Um, Bailey stays on SmackDown. Charlotte stays on Raw. And Jeff Hardy moved to Raw as well. I'm thinking about it. I'm looking it up to see if I missed anyone, but that's I believe all we've had so far. Yeah, obviously Drew stayed on Raw, but that happened Friday. Uh, yep, both Braun and the Fiend are now on Raw. And then going back to talking smack on Saturday, Raw kept Umberto Carrillo. SmackDown got Buddy Murphy. Raw took Tucker after SmackDown took Otis. SmackDown took Kalisto, and Raw kept Drew Gulak. I know that's not a huge deal either way. I just thought if you don't know, I might want to fill you in again. Yeah. Oh, and Randy Orton stayed on Raw. I know, huge deal, right? Lars again? I gotta tell you, his comeback on Friday was weird, and then he had gotten into. I think it was reported in our Facebook group. He had gotten into some stuff with a yoga model on Instagram where he was sending her some very creepy DMs asking for like private booty pics and saying he would pay more and all that. I guess he's just trying to look macho after obviously the not straight porn came out, but I did not expect him to be on Raw tonight after all that. But apparently that's okay too, because Matt Riddle's here. We'll just get every scumbag on Raw. Fuck it. Why is The Miz not helping Morrison? Because The Miz is a smart man, and B, a chicken shit. That's why, Mac. Oh God, don't recap the New Day thing again. That's breaking my heart as it is. We may actually get a Miz versus Morrison feud, but it's more likely that they'll just bicker in the back and then hug it out and then continue to act like some frat of dads who think they're street. Oh, here it comes. Here comes the belt swap. Cuz this is what we wanted to see. The belt swap. They had an exchange, y'all. Oh, here comes Rudolph. Okay, I'm not sure that Kofi knows what the term mollywopping means, but if you do, it does not mean putting a foot in someone's ass. Okay, that was cool, but you know what would have been even cooler? An actual match between the four of them, and not just getting Rudolph in it and exchanging titles. Oh, hey Kevin, what's going on, man? Nice to see you. Good to have you. Good to have everybody up in the chat. Just covering this draft the best I can, and waiting on co-hosts if I ever get them. Uh, Not that I need one, but it's always nice to have somebody else's opinion along with mine. I don't think anybody ever wants a big steaming pile of me. That's why when I do these shows, I always do these shows with multiple people. Like, if you watch Top Rope, you know it's usually me and Bruce and Wendy at least. I do Drunk Upon a Time, but that's usually with an ensemble cast as well of people that I know. I do Mutant Rejects, but I do that with my wife and my brother. Um, I don't ever really fly solo because I figure you eventually gonna get tired of the sound of my voice or my one fucking opinion. Is Ronda Rousey back? No, no, she is not. She is not available at the draft pool. She has not been brought up. It would be a humongous surprise if Ronda Rousey came back tonight. Probably an aggravating surprise to most people after the way everything went down. But no, we probably will not see Ronda. She just kind of, but I don't know. Ronda had like a full career in less than a year, if you didn't notice. Like she came in, she debuted, she shot to the top, she won a title, she main evented WrestleMania, made history, and then was just like, I'm out. I honestly wouldn't mind seeing Ronda versus Becky again, Kevin, but Ronda doesn't really want much to do with WWE. She's trying to work on having a family with her husband. And Becky is very pregnant at the moment. So to say she would be ready by next year's WrestleMania, I don't know. Wow, we're just getting all kinds of stuff here. Peta is asking us, are we gonna see Eva Marie? Hopefully not, man. I think she had more than a fair amount of opportunities in WWE and squandered them pretty hard. So if she doesn't come back, I'm not gonna lose sleep over that. Melina would be great. I would love to see Melina again. I know she was with NWA. I'm not sure if she's still with NWA. I know they're trying to make a comeback and they're trying to get power back out there somehow. I was one of the people that got the NWA survey email as to how I want them to bring it back and what I watch and that kind of stuff. So I know they're working on it, but they're not there yet. So the chances of Molina are probably slim too, Kevin. Sorry. I'd like to see. Brian says he'd like to see how much of the audience likes, loves Ronda versus those who barely tolerate her. She doesn't seem to be a very likable person. Oh crap, we got more picks, guys. Hang on.
Monday Night Raw select Retribution.
Shocking. Retribution stays on Raw because SmackDown wants no parts of that crap.
And headed to SmackDown, the Freak, Lars Sullivan.
Oh my, Lars has been drafted, y'all. He's headed to the blue brand until he gets in trouble or injured, which will be anywhere from 3 weeks to about a month and a half from now. Because that's Lars.
Remains limitless with Keith Lee.
We're still basking in the glory on Raw. As Keith Lee becomes the new Shinsuke Nakamura, let's change his music, let's change his outfit. Next thing you know, we'll be turning him heel.
King Corbin.
Oh boy, King Corbin stays on SmackDown. Thank God. I know we were all worried. Everybody calm down. King Corbin's not going anywhere.
And Monday Night Raw selects Alexa Bliss.
There you go, Peter. There you go, Peter. Raw selects Alexa Bliss to go with Bray Wyatt. Beautiful. Love it. This whole Bliss and Bray thing and the way he's changing her has just been mwah. All right, so a lot of people staying in the same spot in this round. The only one that really moved was Lars, if you want to be technical. Well, Alexa Bliss did move to Raw, but once they took the Fiend, it was like, yeah, that was bound to happen. Oh God, it's the Friday night, whatever you want to call them. Time to go back on mute. All right, let's see what we got in the chat. Kevin asks Melina versus Mickey James in an I Quit match. Who wins? Oh, you know what? Both women are tough and they're kind of old school, but I'd probably put my money on Mickey in that match. I'm not gonna lie. She's just a little bit more experienced and a little bit hungrier, and a little bit more, and a little bit meaner. I'd probably take Mickey James between the two of them. Mrs. Aldis all day. Let's see. Brian is playing taps for Keith Lee's main roster theme, main roster run. I know. I'm trying not to, dude. If you watch this show, if you're in our groups on Facebook or Twitter or follow on Twitter or whatever, I love Keith Lee. I named him Wrestler of the Year at our half-assed awards. I think he's a tremendous talent, a rare find, and what they're doing to him on Raw just reminds me of what they did to Shinsuke Nakamura after he hit a main roster, and it's sad because the two of them are two of the most unique talents in all of wrestling, and there was no need to change them, but WWE did it anyway. So let's hope they learn from their mistakes, even though they probably never do, and we don't get the same thing with Keith Lee that we got with Shinsuke Nakamura. Because Shinsuke is still one of my all-time favorite wrestlers no matter what happens, but damn if it doesn't hurt to see him in these weird outfits and to not hear his original theme anymore, which was amazing. I hummed it. I know a lot of you in the chat would he used to come out probably hummed along too when he was in NXT and when he came up, and they had to change that too, and they had to make him a heel. They had to do all these things with him, and it's like this is all fixing something that doesn't need to be fixed, which means you just broke it. So congratulations, and now they're doing it again. What do I think of the Mysterio family? I got to be honest, Kevin. I was not expecting Dominic Mysterio to impress me the way that he did against Seth Rollins. And just in a ring in general. I think he's very talented. He's still green. He's, as Wendy said, greener than baby shit. But he's damn good. He's got a lot of potential, and I'm looking forward to seeing where he goes. I could live without Ray, honestly, guys. I know it's not that I don't like him or I haven't loved him in the past. I think he's tremendous. He's done a ton for wrestling, but it's just his time has passed, and he doesn't seem to want to let that go. Um, As far as his wife and daughter out there, like I understand it's part of the storyline, and then they started this whole thing with Buddy Murphy, and I know a lot of people got creeped out by it. I thought it was at least compelling television to have that family drama if you're gonna have them on there. Like you had the moments where they all got together and caned everybody, and they did this and they did that, but you knew beyond a shadow of a doubt that families do fight, and no family is unified all the time. And showing that other side was great. I think Aaliyah Mysterio is one hell of an attractive young lady. I think Buddy Murphy is a lucky dude to go, I mean, literally Alexa Bliss in real life, and then Aaliyah on TV. It's like, but Buddy's kind of a big deal when it comes to the ladies, and he should be proud of that. Cruiserweight champ and apparently a lady killer. I know. As far as Murphy and Aaliyah go, I think it's an interesting story because it's not exactly like Buddy Murphy is hitting on Aaliyah. He is just trying to, kind of just be there for her, help her, whatever. People are taking it to another place, and I get why. But it also paints that picture of like, Aaliyah being the younger sister, and Dom being the only son, and the wrestling prodigy and everything. He's always had the spotlight. Aaliyah has not. And Murphy knows how that feels because who's Murphy? He is the disciple, or was the disciple, of this man, the former Monday Night Messiah, Seth Rollins. So they have common ground. Um, it doesn't mean they're going to be back in the back. They're going to be back in catering, hooking up, but it does mean that they have a lot in common, and they can, they can relate and support one another. Now, does that lead to anything else? I don't know, but if it does, I'm not going to knock it. It's like trying to knock Dolph Ziggler hitting on Vicky Guerrero. Friday Night Messiah. Yeah, Kevin, I got to be honest, that doesn't have the ring that, Monday Night Messiah does. Although I think it's cool that Jeff Hardy confronted Seth. That's kind of dope. And here comes AJ Styles. Could AJ and Jeff Hardy just team up and beat the crap out of Seth Rollins? I'd be a happy guy. Will there be more drafted? Oh, I'm sure, Jay. We're only an hour in. We've already had like 2 or 3 rounds of the draft. So I'm sure we're going to get at least another couple of rounds between now and the end of the show. I mean, I don't know if they'll stretch it all the way to 11, but I don't think they're done with the draft yet because they would have said this is the final round like they did on SmackDown. And they haven't said that yet. So we should be getting more picks, Jay. No worries. Oh, vintage Jeff Hardy on the former Monday Night Messiah. And a little bit for AJ while we're at it. Why not?
AJ, you still got business, man. But Seth, before you take off for SmackDown, I'm going to prove to you that Raw is in good hands. I want both of you in a triple threat tag team match right now.
I think he meant triple threat and not triple threat tag team. But okay, Jeff, he's had a few too many bad falls and bumps to the head. He messed up a little bit, but whatever. It's just live TV. Kevin, I hate the Bella twins. Well, I mean, I can't say that I hate them, but I can't say that I blame you either. They're not exactly my favorites on the face of the earth, but I can't say I hate them. At this point, especially like being kind of out of the spotlight for me. I know my wife tends to watch like Total Bellas, that kind of stuff, and I'm just like, ugh. So that makes me hate them a little bit, but otherwise, I'm just people would you when I read Bella Twins, my first thought was like, meh, you know, like I don't love them, I don't hate them, just meh. They don't deserve the Hall of Fame. You know what? You are probably right about that. Probably. I mean, I know they kind of helped a little bit to transition the divas into the women's revolution, and like I know Nikki held that title for a very long time, but I felt like there were so many other people that belonged in the Hall of Fame before the Bellas, and so I can't say they don't deserve it at all, but I don't think they deserve to be in it already. I'll take it that far. Jeff still used to being in a tag team. Matt left a long time ago, Peter. I mean, you think by now he would be, he would be kind of, just accustomed to flying solo because he's had this whole, solo thing for a good 6 months. That's true. That's true, Kevin. Between AJ Lee started the women's revolution. You're right, and Paige took it and ran with it from there, and then so on and so forth. But that whole feud between Paige and the Bella twins, where she couldn't get a fair shake at the Divas title at the time, because every time she would fight Nikki, Brie would get involved, or she'd get swerved, or whatever, was what caused Stephanie to step in and start that women's revolution and bring a lot of the NXT women up and bring in Charlotte and bring in Sasha and Bailey and all and get Naomi and Tamina and all that and create the women's revolution. So yeah, AJ Lee definitely started it, and Paige kind of took it and ran from there, and the rest is now history. But if it weren't for that feud between Paige and the Bellas, we may not have even had a women's revolution in the first place. But I can't argue with you. You're definitely onto something there. Like AJ kind of lit the fire, then Paige came along and threw a can of gas on it, and from there we are where we are. And that's, I mean, I would arguably put, and you can correct, and if you want, you can correct me in the chat, but I would have probably put AJ Lee in the WWE Hall of Fame before I put the Bella Twins. I think the only reason that didn't happen was because of the entire CM Punk thing. That's just my 2 cents. Oh, they're even going with a draft recap underneath the on the bottom line during this triple threat match. That's kind of cool. Yeah, we'll go over it. Charlotte stayed on Raw. Strowman went to Raw. Daniel Bryan stays on SmackDown. Yay! Matt Riddle went to Raw. Owens to SmackDown. Jeff Hardy is obviously on Raw now. Retribution stayed. Lars ends up on SmackDown. Shouldn't even be there. Keith Lee stays on Raw. King Corbin's on SmackDown still. Alexa Bliss moved to Raw. That's true, Peter. The Bellas did a lot for women outside of the ring, which I respect them for. But does that really make them WWE Hall of Famers? It's like if it's like saying if John Cena didn't have the career that he had, but he did all these make a wish things and he made such an impact outside of WWE, would that make him? Would he still be a WWE Hall of Famer? And the answer is probably not. It makes you a decent person, but there's not a lot of decent people in the WWE Hall of Fame when you look at it. So I'm not sure the Bellas are quite deserving of being there ahead of people like AJ Lee or like Paige or that sort of thing. I just don't. I mean, I believe they belong there, but not before a few other people. Mm. No, you're right, Kevin. Natalia is definitely more deserving, and Natalia is still wrestling. So I'm sure as soon as she finally retires, she should be a first ballot WWE Hall of Famer, especially given the fact that the Bellas are already in. If the Bellas are in, then immediately after Natalia retires, they should induct her too. The only reason she's not there is she's still full time in a ring. Ah, yes. I was gonna mention the pink ribbon on AJ's tights too, Peter, and I got caught up in the chat. But yeah, that's huge for at least me personally because I had a mom who battled breast cancer for 5 years until it finally got the best of her, and I mean, and I'm proud of her because doctors gave her 3 months. That woman lasted 5 years, and two of them were in remission. So she had to fight her ass off, and we were there fighting right alongside her. And so to see that ribbon just kind of hit me here. Sorry, you can call that fourth wall break, shoot, whatever, but I got a soft spot. Can you blame me? Oh, definitely Natalia in the Hall of Fame, Kevin. Like immediately after her retirement speech, they should say she's inducted. This is a damn good match. I don't understand it being a triple threat, but okay. I would have rather seen I would have rather seen Seth versus Jeff. Maybe we didn't get that because it's hard to say, but I would have rather seen Seth versus Jeff. But whatever. I'm never gonna complain when AJ Styles gets a chance to be in a Raw ring. We're gonna see a lot more of that, but I'm just saying. Oh, where's Wendy when you need her? Tope Suicida. Sleeping is the answer to that question. Oh man, but no, I can't argue that, Kevin. As soon as Natalia is done and with her run in WWE, when she decides to step out of the ring, she should be a Hall of Famer like that very minute. Like they should just announce it as soon as she's done with her speech. By the way, now that that's out of the way, you're being inducted into the Hall of Fame next time. Alexa Bliss versus Scarlett, Hell in a Cell match. Wow, who would win? I would probably have to give it to Alexa Bliss. I love them both. They are both very talented. I know Scarlett catches a lot of flack, but she's a damn good worker in the ring, and she really hasn't had much of an opportunity to prove that outside of Impact. Alexa, we all know what she's capable of, but I would probably have to go with Alexa Bliss just because she's just a little bit more experienced, a little bit better, um, and she's been in those kind of cage match wars in her career. Scarlett hasn't, so she's going to be. It's going to kind of have give her a home field advantage. If you would have just said one on one match, maybe Scarlett's got a chance. But you put him in Hell in a Cell. I mean, Bliss has been having cage matches since back when Becky Lynch and her were on SmackDown together. Oh, the Fiend versus Karrion Cross. Man, those are wow, those are probably two of the most unstoppable forces collectively in WWE, NXT included, because I mean, Karrion Cross barely even took an offensive move until he got in the ring with Keith Lee. He was dominating people, and the Fiend seems unstoppable unless your name is Bill Goldberg. Um, Man, that's a tough one, Kevin. I would probably lean towards, and this might be an unpopular opinion, but I'd probably lean towards carrying Cross because I think it's going to be an absolute knockdown, drag out war, and carrying Cross might have a little bit more of a conditioning advantage. So and no one's to this point tried to choke Bray out. I know Bray has been able to get out of submission moves and finishers, but if you cut off his oxygen, will he not go to sleep? I don't know the answer to that, but I'm thinking the answer is he will go to sleep. So I could see Cross just holding him in that rear naked choke, the cross jacket, whatever you want to call it, until Bray literally just goes out. Like he'll fight it with everything he's got. He'll be trying to reach back and do the mandible claw, the whole nine, but eventually he will just fade out, and Karrion Cross would win. Natalia and Lana love the tables. No, apparently Lana loves the tables. You know, Lana absolutely positively loves those tables because it seems like week in and week out, Nia Jax is putting her through that damn announce table, and then they get another announce table. I don't know if that's joys of editing or if during the commercial somebody's actually like running out and putting a table in front of those three again. But there's always another announce table. Anybody else ever notice that? After Lana goes through it, about 10 minutes later, there's another table. Ah, the old whisper in the wind. People keep saying Jeff Hardy is too old to do these things, and I would agree if he couldn't still do them. Like seriously, Jeff Hardy is a rare bird, man. Kevin's asking me where am I from? Originally South Philadelphia. That's why I typically call myself the South Philly Sycho, man. Which I forgot to put on my Zoom tonight because I was a little rushed getting in here in time for the start of the draft. Hi from Mexico. All right, hey, I see you. That's cool. I'm glad we got a little bit of a reach. I gotta say, Cancun is beautiful. Do you like spicy food? Oh God, yes, Kevin. I am a huge spicy food hot sauce guy. I've always been since I was a little kid. My godfather was always into like insanely hot wings and insanity peppers and all that good stuff. And then my best friend back in Philly was into it too. So yeah, I've spent my whole life just eating spicy food and sweating and burning and thinking, oh, this is great. That's my kind of party. Peter says I like my women spicy. Yes, yes, we all don't. We all. Nobody wants a bland woman. I'm sorry. I know. I know it seems like it seems like an easy existence, but you don't want some bland woman to just spend the rest of your days with. You are going to be bored out of your mind. You want the type of woman that's just going to surprise you one day and say something to you that comes out of left field, like I'm not wearing panties today, or how would you feel about another woman? That sort of thing. You don't want to just spend the rest of your life sitting around reading crosswords and watching TV with somebody and eating at the same restaurant and doing the same bland boring ass things time after time. At least I don't. uh, you know that's not where I'm at. I've spent, oh god, I've been married 12 years now, and my wife still throws curveballs at me that surprise the hell out of me in a good way. So whether you want to admit it or not, I think we all like spicy women. I'm just saying. Oh damn! I thought Jeff had it there. Come on, man. Peter says my girlfriend keeps me on my toes. I really hope she's not a subscriber because she can see that. No, my wife keeps me on my toes too, and that's a good thing. You know, it could be something little and stupid, like, "Hey, I feel like I feel like I want to get my hair dyed purple." Okay, go for it. Should look cool. She gets done. Looks fucking cool. Just random shit out the blue. Still keeps me on my toes. Still keeps me guessing. I dig that, especially after being married for 12 or so years. I know people in my situation that are like, "Man, I'm bored out of my ass." I'm like, "Not me." Try to say hola. Hola, Kevin. I'll let her know you said that. You're very funny. Oh, thank you. I try. That's the thing, with the 3 hour show and some of these matches. Like, if you're watching Raw, you got commentary. I can't just comment along. I got to be able to sit here and entertain you somehow and crack some jokes and do what I can. So I I try my best to be entertaining, be funny. I appreciate it when somebody can see that. Oh shit, it's Elias. I did not see that coming. And he just wailed Jeff Hardy with that guitar. I wonder if that's payback for that car accident all the way back at the beginning of the Sheamus feud. It would have been better had they said Elias was drafted to Raw, but that was definitely a surprise. I did not see that one coming. I got to give you that one, Raw. You got one by me for one. I've kind of missed Elias. I don't know if you guys know this, but Bruce and I, we were Elias guys from the very beginning. Like nobody would shout louder when Elias would ask, "What does WWE stand for?" Bruce and I were just walk with Elias immediately. So it's cool to see him back. I wish he ditched the scarves. Like send that scarf back to Jericho. But other than that, it's cool to see him back. He must remember that car accident. There's your receipt, Jeff. Exactly. WWE stands for Walk with Elias. See, this is the thing that drives me nuts about WWE programming is like they will instantly show you what just happened again in replay 3 times after it happened. Then they'll go to commercial, come back, show it again. By the time they're done, I know I'm not the only one. I'm sure you guys have sat there too if you watch these shows and go like, I know already. I was here. I saw it. Who we were showing this again for? Oh, we got something going on with Steph in the draft. Oh, now that I put the sound back on, I know the fourth round of the draft is coming up right after this commercial. So I'm guessing we're going to find out that Elias is on Raw after the commercial. Otherwise, why would he come out and hit Jeff with the guitar? He was a SmackDown guy. So either he was trying to get his payback while he could, or Stephanie McMahon's about to announce that Raw picked up Elias. Hey, I do not have Peter says it's because Americans have the memory of a fish. I gotta tell you something, Peter. I do not have the memory of a fish. I'm a certain age, and I was at a certain point in my life where I couldn't just look stuff up on my phone or have it found or have the information instantly. So I had to kind of catch it in my head and remember it. So like, well, a lot of people use Google for a good bit of stuff, but most of it is just up here. So while I agree with you to a point, like say that shit to a millennial. Don't say that to me, man. I'm 40. I had to be at a point where I had to keep things in my head because it was all I had. I lived in a time where there wasn't internet. You know what I'm saying? Elias to NXT. That would be cool. Honestly, Kevin, I'd rather see Shinsuke go back to NXT, kind of like Finn did, because it did so much for Balor's career. I think it would help Shinsuke tremendously. But I wouldn't mind seeing Elias on Raw, especially if it sparks a feud with Jeff Hardy over that car accident that put him supposedly out of action since then. Because if you remember, that whole thing with Sheamus and Jeff Hardy began over a car accident, and Elias was getting put in an ambulance, and they were running after Jeff, who had fled the scene. And we haven't seen Elias since. So apparently, so this has got to be payback for that. See, I remember that, and that happened like 7, 8 months ago. Elias versus Robert Stone. If anybody's going to kick Robert Stone's ass, I'm all for it. Like Shotzi run him down with the tank, even after she had done it a couple times. I was like, do it again. Um. Oh, Peter wants to know why NXT is not in the draft. And to be honest with you, dude, I don't know. It goes back to what the three of us were discussing on that show when we got the when we found the What Culture app ad that or ad article that said NXT needs to be just basically given up on because they used it as a developmental platform, but they never really used it as a developmental platform. And now they're trying to make it out like it's a third brand on TV, but then not including it in the draft makes it feel like it's developmental. But you want us to believe that it's a brand like Raw and SmackDown. But if it is, why aren't they in the draft? And why isn't anyone drafting NXT superstars? So are they developmental or are they not? That's one of the big problems with NXT today is they are having like this huge like crisis over exactly what the fuck they are. And WWE's obviously not helping them because if they're a full brand, why aren't they represented? Why can't Raw and SmackDown draft their superstars? Why don't they get 2 draft picks? Because they have a 2-hour show on USA. Do we just forget? Do we just conveniently forget that when you tell us to? I mean, it's a great question, Peter. I wish I had an answer, but I can tell you the draft is on. Let's go to round 4. There it is. Immediately after the break, Raw takes Elias. Who saw that coming? I'm going to answer that in a minute, Kevin. I see you. Okay. Sammy stays on SmackDown. That's cool. I'm just glad he got his title back. Oh, Lacey getting a bump from SmackDown to Raw. I gotta be honest, I wouldn't mind seeing Lacey Evans against Asuka. That'd be a pretty damn good match. Sorry. Okay, Shinsuke and Cesaro stay on SmackDown. Oh, Sheamus goes to Raw. Apparently O'Doyle rules. Who knew? All right, so obviously Elias came over, big shock. Sammy stays on SmackDown. Lacey goes to Raw, which is pretty cool. Shinsuke and Cesaro stay on SmackDown. Sheamus goes to Raw. So everybody that's moving in this round is moving to Raw. Oh, your stream's behind. Sorry, Peter. Oh, here we go. Battle of the Blondes. Let's see. What do we now? Let me go back to these questions here. Okay. Kevin wanted to know Zelina Vega, is she better as a superstar or a manager? I gotta be honest, Kevin. I've been watching Zelina for a long time. I've been watching Zelina ever since she was Rosita in TNA. Not even Impact, TNA. And I think she's a tremendous talent in the ring. So I would probably say superstar as opposed to manager. I know she's got a great mouth and a great look, and she can do it. And managers are very rare these days, and she pulls it off well. But I think she's an even better wrestler. So I'd rather have her as a superstar, to be honest. I mean, she got thrown into the fire with Asuka and looked pretty damn good doing it because she hadn't had a match on Raw in or at all in quite some time, and she still pulled off two very good matches with Asuka in back-to-back nights. So I'd rather have her as a wrestler. Um. Peter on NXT said I think it was good as a developmental before it went to USA. Yeah, definitely, Peter. But as I said, since coming to USA and being part of Survivor Series and Royal Rumble, the WWE has been trying to convince you that NXT is now a brand. But every time something, but since then, it's like, oh, here's SummerSlam, no NXT superstars. Here's a draft, no NXT picks. Which one are they? They have an identity crisis now ever since they came to TV, as you said. When they were on the network, it felt more developmental and things of those lines. Now they're just being basically sacrificed to pull some eyes off of AEW, honestly, truthfully, because it's a great show. But and there's some great talent on there. But do I think they have the talent to compete with a promotion like AEW? Not really. Not honestly, not really. And that's not a knock on those guys. AEW just has a lot of good, well-known talent, and NXT has a lot of developmental people with potential that a lot of people don't know. So it really feels like they're just throwing NXT to the wolves and pretending like there's some kind of big deal so that they can have something to throw up against AEW on Wednesdays. And that's a slap in the face to every NXT superstar on that roster right now. It just is. You'd be better off putting them on a different either putting them on a different day or sending them back to WWE Network. If you're not going to do either one, it makes it seem as though you're taking advantage of NXT and you're basically telling them to take one for the team, and that's not right. And the way you treat them when they come to a main roster is not right. Oh yeah, Survivor Series was insane, and dominated by NXT, if you remember. And then in Royal Rumble, you had Keith Lee, you had a few guys from NXT, and then all of a sudden they started to because they were trying to make you believe that NXT was on the same level as Raw and SmackDown, but they stopped doing that, and now they expect you to believe it's a brand, but they don't have draft picks. I can't. The last big pay per view that they were involved in WWE was WrestleMania, and they had one match where Rhea lost to Charlotte. So it becomes this big identity crisis where are we a brand or are we developmental, because we can't be both. So you either need to put them back on the network and make them the developmental show, or you need to make them a full-fledged brand. And now that you own Evolve, put Evolve on the network and make that the developmental show. But then put NXT in the draft, put NXT in the pay-per-views, put them on the same level as Raw and SmackDown, because that's what you claim they are. Oh, Kevin wants to know who's my favorite WWE superstar. Right now, I'd probably say Asuka. I have always, always, always loved Asuka. And then with men, I'd say Drew. I love Drew's story. I was a big fan of Drew before he left WWE. I was an even bigger fan when I saw him in Impact, and when he came back to NXT. And I've watched his rise through the ranks, so to speak. And I'm very happy with the fact that he is now the WWE champion. I feel bad that he's never gotten to get that crowd pop on account of COVID, because after all the work he did, he deserved it. But circumstances or not, Drew's a great guy, and it's nice to see him where he's at. And I'm honestly getting hardcore into the hurt business. Like before MVP came along and this was formed, most of these guys outside of Shelton, I was like, nah, go ahead, get out. I don't really care. And MVP has kind of molded them and made them into something different, and I'm loving it. Um The next big pay-per-view would probably be Survivor Series in November. They're going to have Hell in a Cell, but I don't really consider that a big pay-per-view. Halloween Havoc is coming back to NXT. Oh, excuse me. Halloween Havoc is coming back to NXT, but it's coming back as a regular show on Wednesday because they want to pull eyes off of Dynamite. So I thought it was going to be like a takeover pay-per-view. It turns out it's going to be on, I got to check my dates, but it's going to be on, yeah, the 28th, which is a Wednesday. So it's not even a pay-per-view. It's just a series special show, basically. Kevin loves Sasha Banks. Okay, dude. Yeah, I'm a decent enough fan of the boss. I'm more of a Snoop fan than a boss fan, but okay. Okay. Alexa and KO, those are good picks too, Peter. You know I love I love them both. I want to see Evil Owens though. Like usually the Fiend puts you in a mandible claw and changes you. The Fiend needs to get Evil Owens to come back to the surface. The Hurt Business. Peter says the Hurt Business is also awesome. Who do I think will be the newest member? I gotta be honest. I think they're gonna get both Apollo and Ricochet after the Ali swerve, because it's a situation where if you can't beat them, join them. And then obviously they thought this guy had their backs, and then he turned around and sicked an entire 12-person faction on them. So I think they both end up in the Hurt Business by the time this is over. They were just talking to him a minute ago on Raw. October 28th is your birthday, Peter? I didn't know that. Well, we're gonna have to like dedicate something to you on your birthday, like a discussion thread, or bring you in for a watch along if you're around or something. Happy early birthday, man. Okay, so we're heading on 2 hours in. We've had 4 rounds, and I believe we're gonna have more. That's cool, Peter. We're definitely gonna have to like do something and dedicate it to you on a Wednesday night, because that's a big night in our Facebook group for like discussion threads and that kind of stuff with Dynamite and NXT. I'm not sure what we do yet. I don't know if we just do like a Dynamite watch along, or if we do a Halloween Havoc. I got to kind of see what people are leaning towards. Um, Maybe I'll let Peter pick. It is his birthday that day. Oh man, staring at screen so long, my eyes are blurry. Oh, Max says he's got a feel. Yeah, they could. He's got a feeling they're going to revisit the Sammy and Kevin feud. Yeah, I could see that happening. I could see that happening. I wonder if we get a Yep movement, a Yep movement reunion where like Sammy and Kevin get together to screw everybody over. But either way, I could see them going back to a lot of Sammy and Kevin stuff with them being on the same show. Good call, Matt. Um, oh, Peter says AEW. Okay, we'll do something for AEW on your birthday. No problem. Your girlfriend got you some memory for your computer as an early present. Hey, that's a damn good present, my friend. I'm slowly ripping through this terabyte I have on my computer with all these episodes. So my wife has been talking about getting me some extra memory or an add-on hard drive or something. It's a good gift. But if it's Halloween Havoc, I gotta watch my Shotzi. Yeah, that's gonna Shotzi is gonna be the host of Halloween Havoc on NXT. So you have a couple weeks. Figure out which one you would rather do. Let me know or let us know in the Facebook group or something, and we will do some kind of watch along. We'll do some kind of whatever for your birthday. I mean, you're nice enough to stay up in the UK till God knows when, just to hang out with us or watch our shows or do whatever. So if it's gonna be your birthday, we're gonna let you call the shot, buddy. Finn Balor versus Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre. This match is very interesting. Yeah, yeah, that would be a very damn interesting match. I mean, I know Finn's a little bit undersized compared to the other two, but he is one tough little Irish son bitch. So I wouldn't count him out of that at all. Oh yeah, Peter, I love Shotzi too. I think she's great. Oh, okay. So we actually have like Angel Garza taking on Andrade with Zelina looking on right now? Are they finally not a tag team anymore? Okay, Kevin says Roman will win. Yeah, more than likely. More than likely. I wouldn't count Drew or Finn out of that though, man. The Irish and the Scotsmen will unify when they have a common enemy. Ask the British. Yo, Tony Storm on NXT is going to be amazing. I'm hoping to see rematches with, and I know like it's been done, but I would still love to see Tony versus Rio one more time. I'd love to see Tony versus Io again. That match at the Mae Young Classic was amazing. Um, but yeah, between Tony coming in and now Ember Moon coming back, NXT's women's division just got a whole lot better, which is saying something because they're already pretty stacked. But it would also be a reason why NXT should be in this draft because maybe some of the women that have been there for a while, like Candice LeRae or Dakota Kai, could get drafted to Raw or SmackDown. Or now you got Champa and Gargano, and they're both kind of being dickhead heels again. Why not take them, make them DIY, and draft them to a main roster? But you don't want to put NXT on that same level. No, Peter, I will never count out NXT UK. Before they took their hiatus, I was a huge NXT UK fan, absolutely huge. And the speaking out movement did kind of turn me off to it a little bit, but now that they've retooled and kind of gotten rid of the riffraff and come back, I haven't checked them out yet because I've had some stuff going on in the background lately, but I definitely want to get back to watching them again. I used to religiously. I used to all every week. Every week. I would watch NXT and then I would watch NXT UK on the network. Like just back to back. Maybe not live, but I'd go to like YouTube TV and I'd catch NXT, and then immediately after that, I'd go to the network and I'd catch NXT UK, and it was a great like 3 hours of television. Like that would be what Raw hopes it is every week, but typically isn't. You know what I'm saying? But it was so fun to be able to like watch NXT and then immediately flip to the network, watch NXT UK. So many good matches, so much as Vince McMahon was like, good shit in those 3 hours. I definitely got to catch up on it. Oh shit. Garza beat Andrade. All right. Nice. Now Zelina needs to tell Andrade that he's nothing without her. Oh, Kevin says he doesn't like NXT because it's not free. Well, yeah, it is. It's on the network. So, but I do. I They don't include that in the free version of WWE Network. I thought they did. I pay my 9.99. So I have. I'm just. I like flushing my money down the toilet. Is the problem? But I thought they added NXT UK to the free version of WWE Network. Yes, Dragunov versus Walter is going to be insane. Oh shit. Alexa Bliss to the Fiend's music. Oh, she's even doing the upside down thing. That's awesome. Is she coming after Zelina? Oh shit, there's the Fiend. This is great. We're about to get some stereo sister Abigails. I'm loving this. Wow. Oh, you don't have WWE Network, Kevin? I'm I'm not sure if they're still doing it, but I will say that WWE had offered up a free version of the WWE Network. It doesn't have absolutely everything on it, but it did it did have some shows and some specials. I don't think you got pay-per-views, but I think NXT UK was included. So you may want to check on that. Oh no, Mac, that wasn't creepy. That was epic. I love that Alexa Bliss is like all fiendish and and the stereo sister Abigail's was just amazing. You guys call it creepy all you want. I call it great TV. That was great. I'm a happy guy watching that kind of stuff. That was one of those, as Wendy would say, it was one of those fear boner moments. This is class. I don't know. Does anybody have the free version of the WWE Network? Do we know if that's included? Like NXT UK, can you watch that if you just sign up for the free version? I mean, no, I have my television muted until there's a draft pick, but I'm watching along while I'm talking to you guys. And I got to be honest, it's been a pretty good Raw for, what you're used to. They've definitely raised the bar a little bit. I don't know if I call it that, Peter. Peter, I don't even know if I want to repeat that, but okay. Oh, you need the paid version. Okay. Thank you, Peter. Sorry, Kevin. I thought maybe. Um, yeah, that sucks. Now, I definitely haven't picked up on like the Heritage Cup. I'm a few episodes behind since NXT UK came back, but I used to watch it religiously, so I'm definitely gonna go back and like catch up and try to get current. There's just a lot of stuff with like with my son and things that I had to, you know, get taken care of in the background. Nothing serious. He's not sick or anything. He has some special needs. We're trying to set him up with some more therapies, and it's involved. And there's been a lot of phone calls, a lot of Zoom meetings, a lot of messages that have sucked up a lot of my spare time, and most of my time, to be brutally honest. So it all kind of started as NXT UK was coming back, and I haven't really had a chance to sit down and watch it. But I am definitely one of these days when everything clears up, I'm going to sit and do like a binge marathon just to get all the way back to current and start up on it again because it is a great show. I'm sorry it's not included, Kevin. Yikes. Yeah, I know we're all we're, we're all kind of broke these days, Kevin. I'll be honest. I've even thought about canceling WWE Network a couple of times because it's just been tough to make ends meet with everything that's going on. But we're gonna put that on hold because we got more draft picks coming. Hang on, guys.
Fifth round, headed to Raw, the Twisted Sister, Nikki Cross.
Oh shit, Nikki Cross is coming to Raw too. Am I the only one surprised that they made Alexa Bliss like the crazy fiend follower and not Nikki Cross? Like crazy is her thing.
Champions, the team of the show off Dolph Ziggler and the
Oh
glorious
damn. Rudolph gets back together on Raw and off to SmackDown you go.
remaining on Raw, the 42-time 24/7 champion,
Well,
R-Truth.
of course you have to keep Truth on Raw. He and the 24/7 title are like a fucking staple.
SmackDown selects Apollo Crews.
Oh shit. Well, maybe Apollo won't be joining the Hurt Business because he's going to SmackDown. All right, so Ricochet will join the Hurt Business, Peter. I had to change my answer.
Remaining on Raw, from Raw Underground, and I believe my brother's favorite, Daba Kato.
Okay, Dabakato staying on Raw. But are they going to use him as an actual Raw superstar, or are they going to keep him back on Raw Underground? So a lot of people moving. Obviously, Nikki comes to Raw. Rudolph goes to SmackDown. Truth stayed. Apollo goes to SmackDown, and Dabakato stays on Raw. I'm interested to see what they do with Dabakato going forward. Because I think he's a great talent, but they haven't really used much of him since he came. Oh God, I do not need to hear Byron Saxton marking out about the New Day. That's one of the reasons I was upset they went to Raw. Like he marks out about the New Day harder than my son does, and my son is 9, and my son loves them. There's a problem there. You're a grown man, Byron. You're right though, Kevin. SmackDown definitely needs more superstars, and I think guys like Apollo and Kevin and that sort of thing will fit in there a lot, perfectly. To be honest, and if all you got to do is really give up like the Miz and Morrison for those kind of guys, then and get Rudolph in return, it's a good it's a good trade off. Oh, Peter says you get some access to cool stuff with the free version of WWE Network. That's good to know. In case I decide to cancel mine. Oh, sorry guys. I'm getting some questions in the background and just like message privately to me and I'm like, I don't know if I want to answer that one. And I saw Cadrian on Twitter said something was stupid, but I can't see what it was because whatever the tweet was deleted. Or I was going to answer it, you know, I was going to answer it on the live stream. Sorry, Cadrian. I don't know what you were I don't know what you were saying stupid to. If you're still watching, let me know and I'll see if I can and I'll see if I agree. The 2018 roster, they did have a pretty solid roster 2 years ago. They still do. They're just not doing a whole lot with it because I think WWE still is in that mindset of like, let's wait for COVID to go away and get crowds back, and then we'll hit you with the full effect. But like, we're 7 months in, there's no end in sight, and a lot of other promotions, in fact, almost all of them, but WWE have moved on. But WWE still has that idea of like, let's wait until we get something other than LED screens in around the ring, and then we'll really hit you with the good shit, you know. And I honestly think we're past that at this point, guys. Like maybe it's just me, but I think I think they need to move. You know, they need to move forward. Stop recycling these storylines, especially now that you've got this draft and you're moving people around, and you know, just give people what they want to see from you. Because I'm still trying to figure out how Jey Uso gets a rematch with Roman Reigns after he got absolutely destroyed at Clash of Champions. And didn't we have that whole thing with the McMahon family in the ring saying no more rematches instantly? You know, I remember that. I didn't have to Google that. Peter says I have the memory of a fish. No, I know. 2018 was like Ronda Rousey's, you know, debut, and from there things took off. No, it was definitely a cool time. I mean, you had Ronda Rousey there, you had Alexa Bliss in the title picture. You know, it was it. You know, you had the birth of the man. Um, you know, you even had Niall running around saying, calling herself the face breaker after you know the shot that connected to Becky Lynch. It was definitely a cool time, and it could be again, but WWE's still waiting for this whole pandemic to blow over, and it's it doesn't seem like it's just going to blow over. I would like it to. I would love it to. I'm sure we all would, but it's just not happening. Yeah, no automatic rematches, no immediate title rematches, and now we've got Jey Uso and Roman Reigns again. You know, I mean, go figure. I don't I don't get it, but go figure. I gotta say, I'm surprised you guys have actually stuck around long enough, and it's just plain old me. I know usually by now I hear like "Where's Grandma" or something like that, but nobody said it. I'm slightly touched. It's been like 2 hours, and you guys are riding with me. Thank you. Let's see what Peter said. He says Impact and AEW are just getting on with it, but WWE seems to be stalling. Yeah, yeah, they really are. You know, and Power is trying to make a comeback. MLW is restarting, and they've already said that you know Alex Hammerstone wants a piece of Jacob Fatu and is basically demanding it. So they're jumping right back into the deep end. Impact has moved on. AEW has moved on, and WWE just doesn't want to because they want that crowd pop when they finally get back to giving you what they believe is, oh, such good shit. And all that means is that I will probably be watching a little bit more of stuff outside of WWE and a little less WWE. I mean, I've enjoyed the draft, I've enjoyed SmackDown last Friday, I've enjoyed Raw, but when it's over, are you going to give us something new from that draft, or are you going to give us the same recycled championship matches, storylines, whatever that you've been giving us? Yeah, how many times? Yeah, exactly, Peter. How many times do we need to see Drew versus Randy? They fought twice. Drew won both times, regardless of what Randy Orton tried to pull. Now we got to see a Hell in a Cell match. Roman just absolutely slaughtered Jey Uso. Now he gets a rematch. How many times did we see the Street Profits take on Angel and Andrade? I've lost count. Um, it's the same thing, or Asuka versus Sasha was another one. Bailey versus Nikki Cross happened multiple times in the last few months. There's just been a ton of them, and we don't need to see that anymore. We don't need these same feuds out of the recycle bin that have already been played out and already gone as far as they could go. Oh, Peter says he needs to watch ROH. Yeah, that pure championship tournament looks like it's going to be damn good. And Kevin says Angel Garza and Andrade deserve the titles. I got to be honest. I think they're much better off as singles competitors. But if I could, I'd put some kind of title on both of them. I love Angel Garza. I have loved him for a very long time. Even before he came to Impact and was teaming up with the Laredo Kid, I loved Angel Garza. I watched a lot of him in AAA. I'm really into Andrade myself too. I thought he made a great NXT champion. I think he could have been a great US champion, but they didn't book him properly. Those guys belong as singles competitors, and that's why they fought tonight against each other. I mean, they belong in the singles division. Like Garza came in and almost immediately won the NXT Cruiserweight title, and I thought that was a perfect role for him. It brought eyes to the Cruiserweight division and 205 Live and NXT. And then when he came to Raw, I thought maybe he would get like some kind of US title shot against Andrade, and then they teamed up. Yeah, that's a point I think Bruce and I brought up on last Thursday's show, Peter. WWE has almost the full roster at their disposal now, with protocols and Thunderdome in place, so they can't use COVID as an excuse anymore. Now it's okay. You've got your roster. You've had your draft. You've got your what is in essence your bubble with the Thunderdome. What do you do now? And if it's, well, we're going to recycle these same storylines, then you're just stalling. So yeah, you said what Bruce and I said last week, which was they need to get back to putting together some new stories and some new feuds, like New Day versus Rudolph, like we got right now. I know Dolphin and Ziggler, who I call Rudolph, Rude Dolph, they're going to SmackDown, so we're not going to see this after tonight. But this is definitely something a little bit newer, a little bit fresher, and I'm sure they'll go to SmackDown and they'll probably get another feud with the Street Profits, just like they were on Raw. So get ready for another recycled feud there, but at least it's not Angel and Andrade again. And again, if I say Andrade's name wrong, please forgive me. I love Wendy. I love Lucha Culture. I love all that stuff. But as I've explained to her and plenty of other people. I took Spanish 4 times in high school, and I failed it 4 times. It wasn't for lack of trying. I'm just it just doesn't flow off my tongue. So please forgive me. Carmela could have a new song. I'm definitely sick of Carmela's song now. I really am. She probably has one of the most annoying themes in all of wrestling, if I got to be honest. Ooh, we got chaos ensuing at the end of this match. Yo, I don't know if you guys noticed tonight, but Wendy and I definitely noticed on Friday that Xavier Woods, since coming back, has bulked up. Like he got into like Ambrose shape when he returned from injury, all big and beefy and pumped. That's Xavier Woods, man. He got in Ambrose shape. New Day versus the Viking. What do they call them? Raiders. War Machine. I'm gonna call him War Machine because that's how I know him. That would be a great match. Unfortunately, what's his name now? It was Hanson, and now it's Ivar. He has an injury, and he's gonna miss some significant time. So, but I would love to see that down the line, Peter. That would be a great match. Yeah, I think Charlotte could get a new song too. I'm not totally against Charlotte's song. I think it's like a nice, kind of remix of her daddy's song. I'm not totally against that one. Where with Carmela's, every time I hear it, it's like insta cringe. Just ugh. Ugh. No, turn it off. Put it on mute. Fuck that. Um, yeah. Even even Peter says I'm rubbish pronouncing names. Yeah, I try to be I try to be as good as I can. I have my flaws, I have my weaknesses. I try to cover them up as best I can, but sometimes you just got to apologize. I'm not trying to offend anybody or nothing. It's just, doing what I can with what I got. Trying to think of what tags Raw has. Yeah, like they have the New Day, they will have the Viking Raiders. Beyond that, there's not a ton. Obviously Angel and Andrade split up. I'm thinking about it too, and I can't really think of anybody right now because a lot of the tag teams on Raw were released, and a lot of them were like call ups from NXT. Yes, yes, Kevin is spelling fabulous in the chat, and I'm cringing inside just reading it because I can hear it in my mind. I'm like, ugh. But yeah, like they had AOP. They let AOP go. Obviously, they let go of FTR. Um, there's a lot of teams on Raw that aren't available anymore. They have the Miz and Morrison now. They have Tucker, but no Otis. So that's a thing, I guess. And the New Day wins. Yay! I did miss the New Day. I just got New Day rocks. New Day rocks. Yeah, yeah. Like you got the factions. You're right, Peter. You got Retribution. You got Hurt Business. You got Miz and Morrison now. Obviously you have the New Day. You will be getting War Machine back whenever Ivar or Hanson, whatever you want to call him, is healthy. Um Okay, stop typing that up in the chat, Kevin. I'm cringing. Yeah, I can't stand that song. Um yeah, I really can't think of another tag team. Like the tag team divisions overall in WWE are very thin. Very, very thin. That was one of the reasons I was thinking that maybe they finally decided, let's just unify the tag team championships. and let the tag team champions defend on every brand, including NXT. But instead, we had a title exchange as the Street Profits left. I guess that's one way to go. It's definitely not the way I would have gone, but it's a way. What's with Kofi's noodle hair? I don't know, man. He likes the blonde dreads. You know, it's unique. It kind of I think Wendy was saying that at one point or another. It kind of looks a little bit like the sour gummy worms. Um, but it's definitely unique. It's his thing, I guess. You know, it's Kofi and it's the New Day, so I'm trying to use some power of positivity here. It's not going well. Yeah, exactly. Like I said before, like Peter brought it up because he watches us a lot. Like I've said before, they keep splitting up tag teams and then getting rid of tag teams. So eventually you go back to your tag team covered and you realize it's bare. And now what do? You could call up some teams from NXT, but there's not a lot of teams left in NXT. The one that was brought up Friday was the Forgotten Sons because they have been forgotten once again. But that was a lot of due to a lot of Jackson Riker's tweets at the beginning of the outbreak, right after the Forgotten Sons had debuted, really fighting people about our president and the way COVID was being treated and wearing masks and all of that. And eventually, I don't know if it got him fired, but it definitely got the whole team buried. And honestly, as much as I don't agree with what Jackson Riker had said, I think you should have just fired him and kept Cutler and Blake as a tag team in one of these divisions because you're running out of tag teams. Remember when New Day sucks, says PETA. No, but Pepperidge Farm remembers. Oh, Trish, you want Trish, Kevin, you want Trish and Lita to take on Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler? Ooh, like I love Trish and I love Lita, and they are some tough broads, but I don't know if they're on that level in this day and age. Like in their prime, fuck yeah, they could hang easily. But at their age, going against two of the most unique and brutal female athletes in WWE, if not wrestling, in Nia and Shayna, I don't know, man. I feel like they might get rolled over. In their prime, no, but the way things stand, yeah, that's more of a possibility. I might want to just keep Trish and Lito away from them too at this point, like at least until somebody else wins the titles. Yeah, even Peter's saying they get murdered. Exactly. And I don't want to see them get murdered. I love Trish. I adore Lita. Lita's probably my favorite female WWE, if not female wrestler of all time. Like I adore that woman. You want to talk about revolutionary? Lita created a revolution on her own. She was the only true women's wrestler outside of maybe China at a point with a bunch of divas. Trish got to that level, but Lita was on that level from the start in WWE all the way when she was back with like Sa Rios. So I adore Lita. I don't want to see her get murdered by Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax. Sorry guys, I almost lost my mic cord there. That would have sucked. Oh, the mixed match challenge? Yeah, that would be cool. I would more prefer like an intergender mixed match challenge instead of like, you know, a woman tags in so the other woman has to tag in. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, like Vince versus Stephanie. That would be great. I bet Stephanie whip his ass these days. Vince is not exactly the genetic jackhammer he used to be. You know what I'm saying? No, I definitely like the mixed match challenge that they put out on like Facebook and stuff. I like some of the teams. You know, it gave us Braun and Alexa for a little while. That was cool. But I've always been more of an intergender wrestling kind of guy. And I'm not much of a mixed tag kind of guy. Like when a woman tags in, the other woman has to come in. I'm more of the independent wrestling, lucha underground, impact sort of guy where women fight men and vice versa. Not Jane. I'll try not to, man. Um huh? Oh, sorry guys. I got a warning on my screen. I don't know. I just had to clear some stuff. My bad. I certainly don't want to break up this feed with like 40 minutes to go. I can't believe I've made it this far to be honest, guys. It's just been a long day and I'm a little tuckered, but I'm going to hang in there because we're having fun. Oh, they're going over the whole Ali swerve from last week. Again, is it and again, is it just me or are we all sort of hoping that Ali being the leader of Retribution gets that hacker storyline tied into it. Like that's where it all started when he said he was going to show us the truth. And eventually when that all went south, Retribution was born. If that's the case, then the story is actually kind of cool. Otherwise, it just seems very random and very weird. And don't get me started on what T-bar actually means because I'm a 90s guy and Eric Bischoff pointed it out over the weekend in a smack off on Twitter with Dominic Dijakovic. Um uh Eric Bischoff pointed out that T-bar is a term that came from like the late 90s, early 2000s and what it meant was if a woman bent over or sat down and you saw the thong and whatever else sticking out of the back of her pants, that was a T-bar. The thong or G-string and whatever else that came out of the pants. Think of Lita, for instance. She was always rocking the T-bar, had the thong hanging out of her pants. That's what they named Dominic Dijakovic in Retribution after a thong sticking out of a woman's pants or a G string. Again, the more you know. Hey, I'm just happy anybody's actually liked this or been in the live chat with me, and especially guys like you, Kevin, or Peter, or we had Cadrian, we had Mac, we had a bunch of people. I'm just glad that that you guys are here to kind of keep me company and make me laugh and give me some good things to talk about while we go through all this. It's definitely cool, especially since I don't have a co-host to kick it with tonight. I'm not mad about it. I'm sure Wendy was tired. She had to work today. Brucey had a crazy day. I'm just saying it's nice to be able to get on here and if I got 5, 6 people that'll ride along with me and watch this and throw some comments up and do whatever, then hey, it's worth it. You guys are making me feel like I'm special, and I know I'm not. So, mm, that's a good point, Kevin. Naomi could be in Retribution. I know if you noticed what the pictures and stuff that they're showing on Raw now, Mia Yim is still in it, but Mercedes Martinez has been removed. So now there may be an opening for a female in that faction. And you're right, it could be Naomi. Yes, Peter, it is always nice to chat wrestling, especially with you guys. If you will bear with me for 1 second, though, where I live starts out kind of warm, so the air conditioner goes, but then at night it starts to cool off, and the air conditioner doesn't go, and the house heats up, and I'm over here sweating. So give me a second. I'm gonna pop the fan on. I will be right back. Again, another point where I wish I had a co-host. All right, sorry about that, guys. Just had to grab myself just had to throw on a fan and grab myself something to drink because I was sitting here getting hot. No big deal, Kevin. I'm still thinking Sid is going to show Ricochet why he needs to join up with the Hurt Business by beating on him tonight. Because after all, if you're the Hurt Business and somebody doesn't do what you want them to do, you hurt them. That's the business you chose. I mean, unless you were saying Naomi could be in the Hurt Business, which would be interesting, especially since Retribution has a female member, at least one that we know of. Although we still don't know what Mia Yim's name is in Retribution. Like, obviously, I told you about Dijak being or Dijakovic being T-Bar and Mace and Slapjack, but we don't know what Mia Yim's Retribution name is going to be yet. Mm. No, it makes a lot of sense, Peter. Sorry, guys. No, it would make a lot of sense for the Hurt Business to add a female member, especially if Retribution's going to have them. I mean, let's be honest. With as big as Retribution is, if the Hurt Business is the only one going up against them, they need more numbers. Yeah, Hurt Business could use a woman. That's true. That's true. Well, I mean, Brian is saying that Naomi is way too sexy and likable to be with the Hurt Business, but like, I don't know. The Hurt Business doesn't really seem like something where that would be that would be a problem. Maybe Retribution, but I don't think it would be a problem in the Hurt Business. I mean, these guys are walking around in their tailored suits and trying to look all GQ and stuff. So she could be all like sexy in the Hurt Business, like wear some like skimpy dresses or tight stuff or whatever. What the hell is going on here? Oh snap! Ricochet just pulled a Latino heat. He pulled an Eddie. He smacked he grabbed the chair that MVP was trying to throw in and he smacked the ring with it and then he fell over just like Eddie Guerrero used to. He lied. That was awesome. I mean, it's probably going to get him killed, but it was awesome. Yeah, Peter Mercedes was in Retribution, and then for some reason she got taken out, and I think she's going back to NXT. So the only female now is Mia Yim, as far as I know. Alicia Fox needs to come back. I don't know about all that, Peter, but oh yeah, we still have this battle royal coming. I almost forgot about that. Oh, I'm sorry. It's Raw and SmackDown Battle Royal because God forbid they give NXT a chance to get in here and get a shot at Asuka's championship. That would just be horrible. The Hurt Business needs Vicky Guerrero. That's a good one, Kevin. That's a damn good one. I don't think she's leaving AEW for that though. I mean, they're gonna take Nyla Rose too, or are they just gonna get Vicky? Oh God, yeah, it's definitely nice to get some laughs in at the end of the show. That's for sure. Excuse me. I can't do it as loud as I want to because behind this wall my son is sleeping. So you know I'll just give you excuse me, and we'll leave it at that. Eva Marie could join the Hurt Business. No, no, Peter, just no. Just, I don't know what everybody's obsession is with Eva Marie. Like I know she's cute and everything, but she was a terrible wrestler who could not talk. She was basically just there because she looked good in a swimsuit. And I think we've gotten beyond that point in wrestling overall and in WWE by a smidge. Yo, it would definitely be cool if Alexa won, Peter. But I don't know. I think maybe they're that maybe now they're setting something up where her and the Fiend are going to be fighting Andrade and Zelina, who will suddenly come back together even though they broke up. I don't I don't know. I gotta be honest, guys. I'm almost wondering if it would be better to put Zelina with her husband in WWE. Like her and Aleister Black against Alexa and the Fiend. Kind of feels like a more interesting matchup than Andrade and her. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Remember Oksana? Oh God, yes, the woman that came in with Cesaro and was like hitting on Teddy Long and it ended up being his executive assistant for a while. That whole thing was just creepy. Yes, I remember her. Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Kevin. Yeah. Whew. Remember Ariel? Hell yes, Brian. I remember her and Kevin Thorne back when ECW got the reboot and Taz calling her zombie hot week in and week out. And she eventually went to TNA and became a part of LAX with Rosita, who is now Zelina. And shortly after that, she just kind of disappeared. And then one day started doing foot fetish porn, if you can believe that. So yeah, that's her career. Um, you know, I don't know what else to say. Dom, Peter. Oh, Peter asked, "How many pop figures do I have?" Well, the ones you see behind me are a bit, but they're kind of a family collection because my brother lives here, and me, my wife, and my brother all collect. But all told, in the house, there's probably about 300 almost between the three of us. Like my wife has a small collection, and then I've got about 150 of my own, and then my brother probably has close to 100. So like half of them in the house are mine, but all told it's like mine, my wife's, and my brother's. So yeah, there's stuff on the shelf behind me. I got all my wrestling pops over here, and then in our bedroom we have a bunch, and then they're just kind of spattered around the house. Like my wife's baby Yoda is up here on the mantle, and In my room, I have like Andre the Giant, the big one. I have a huge Deadpool and just a bunch of stuff. They're everywhere. It's a sickness, and we're addicted. Yeah, Andrade and Charlotte would be, another one. Like they could put real life couples together since they're together on the same show, kind of like they do it with the Garganos in NXT. Yeah, I know, Peter. It's crazy. We have a lot. We really do. I think it was 2 or 3 years ago. My wife got me my first pop for our anniversary, and I ended up getting her one for her birthday, and it just exploded from there. Like we both got hooked, and then like every chance we got, like Christmases, anniversaries, whatever, birthdays, from then on, it was just pops, like multiple pops every time. Yeah, I'm running out of places to put a pita. I actually have some shelves that I gotta find places for on the walls here, so I can, because we have a whole box of them that we can't display right now because we have nowhere to put them in the house. So I've got to put up a few more shelves so I have a place to put like my pops, and then the title belts that I break out on the show, like the 10 pounds of gold, and the big gold world championship WCW title, whatever you want to call it. Oh God, Kevin. To be honest, I don't really know. It's something that we've done like over years, and a lot of them were like buy one get one kind of things at Barnes and Noble, that kind of stuff. Oh wow, we have more draft picks. Hang on, guys. I'll get back to that. Final round.
Remaining on Raw, Titus O'Neil.
Oh well, I'm so glad Titus got a spot. Like, when was the last time Titus had a match on Raw? Don't worry, I'll wait. Okay, there's that song again. Cringe. But Carmella stays on SmackDown. Okay. Okay, Peyton Royce remains on Raw. These don't feel like the greatest draft picks, to be honest, but okay. Dana versus Ronda. Yes, I do remember. Oh, snap. Well, I guess that so much for putting Zelina and Alistair together because he's off to SmackDown. Okay. Oops. Oh, God forbid they kept Tazawa. I mean, he was going to be the hottest free agent next to Titus, of course. Why is it the season premiere? Because they said so? I, okay, so that last round was a wee bit lackluster, but Titus stays on Raw, Carmella stays on SmackDown, Peyton stays on Raw, Tozawa stays on SmackDown, and on Raw, and Alistair Black is moving to SmackDown. Okay, I guess. You know, meh. Yeah, I guess they call it the premiere because they can. I don't know, Peter. It's just like one day on our audio podcast, I saw we had gotten to like 24, 25 episodes, and I had been doing a season one, so I was just like, you know what? Let's start season two. Let's say season two, episode one is going to be our interview with Shooter Storm, and the guys asked me why, and my answer was, why not? And I think that's the answer WWE would give you when you ask them why is it the season premiere, like, because why not? But yeah, going back, yes, Kevin, I do remember Ronda versus Dana. That was horrible for Dana, that poor girl. And yeah, I'm sure my family has spent a good bit on pops, but I'm not sure how much it's because it's been over years. And like Barnes and Noble always gives out these like buy one get one, or buy two get, or like buy one get one free, or buy one get one half off. So we go down when we have some extra money, and go through all of them and figure out, oh, like I'll take this one, that one, the other one. It was just something we could do before COVID came in, and I ended up losing my income, to be honest, because I've been home with my son since the beginning of the pandemic. So you know, it was just a fun thing that my wife and brother and I could do when we had spare time. We just go pop hunting. It wasn't very fun when we were all fighting over the same pop, but other than that, it was fun. Man, I looked up and I just saw Dexter Loomis's face staring at me. I was like, oh. You know what I'm wondering? Who's actually going to make the bigger impact on NXT from the jump? Is it going to be Tony Storm or Ember Moon? At least the last round was a bit meh. I'll give them, a little bit, like, you know, the Elias thing was a surprise. Not the pick, but him showing up and hitting Jeff Hardy was a surprise. Um, Hi, I'm Randy Orton. Sure. And I'm Pentagon Jr. It's funny, Randy. I just saw you on TV. I don't believe you'd be tuning in just to hear me call you a boring piece of crap. So, oh, you know your initials. Okay, yeah. See, I'm Pentagon Jr. Cerro Miedo. Don't we look just alike? Apparently, the Legend Killer has graced us with his presence. If you're going to be Randy Orton, I have a good question for you. If you are a Legend Killer, but you yourself are a legend, should you kill yourself? Peter answered my question. Thank you, dude. He said, I think I'm hoping for Tony. I'm glad. I like that Ember is back, and she will get a chance to shine again. But Tony is special. Okay, okay, fair enough. Fair enough. I yeah, I don't know. I kind of like to see Ember make the impact for originally, and then have it kind of lead into Tony time. You don't. Randy doesn't know. He's got to go. See, even I dropped some wrestling philosophy that's got the Legend Killer tongue tied. Peace, Viper. Thanks for showing up. Oh, I mean, peace. Thanks for showing up. The three most boring letters in professional wrestling supposedly showed up in our live chat, folks. Right here at Top Rope Wrestling Talk with your host, Pentagon Jr. I love you, Peter. Bye, Randy. Hope Drew doesn't kick your ass too much. That makes one of us. Why, are you gonna pop up and kick the winner of the women's battle royal? The Saints just tied the game up. Thank you, Mac. I haven't been watching for a while, to be honest with you. I have somehow been stuck on Raw this whole time. That normally does not happen. Thought I recognized you under the mask. Yeah, it's a dead giveaway, homie. Oh, I don't have it on me, or I'd totally give you an idea of like what you would see. I have my Pentagon mask that I wear around town, and I would totally throw it on so you could see that like it's me under it, just like this guy's Randy Orton. Sure, sure, Jan. Not that one. The one with the painted face on it. I don't know where it is.
I'm just trying to be helpful.
I know.
I got suspended.
All right, sorry about that. Randy, can I have your autograph? Hey, you've been able to sit around for almost 3 hours now and talk with Pentagon Jr., so you should consider yourselves lucky. Randy, I'm your fan. Can I get an autograph? Oh god, I love you, Peter. I love you, Kevin. You guys are awesome. I mean, he says we got to wait till the end of the show. There is 12 minutes left. There's a women's battle royal going on. Is he going to come out and like kick some woman in the face and take a match with Asuka for the women's title at Hell in a Cell as well? Randy's pulling double duty. Like, uh oh. Lana about to go through this table again. Yep, there it is. See, that's just rude, Legend Killer. I mean, I'm watching you rip Drew's eye out in the back, but you know. Yeah, he's chatting and fighting at the same time, guys. I mean, I'm pretty sure Raw is pre-recorded, but I highly, 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 highly doubt that the real Randy Orton would show up to my live feed. I mean, I know I'm kind of a big deal, but I am not that big of a deal. I mean, if it's the real Randy Orton, do me a favor, go to Twitter, go to @TopRopeWT and hit follow right now. Kevin says the future of Lana is she goes to AEW. Well, probably. But until then, she's going to end up going through a table on a weekly basis. That's her immediate future. She's going to go through a table week in and week out. I never know. Oh, come on, Peter. Like I know we have built up a pretty decent following here, and we've had a couple of wrestlers on the show. We're working on getting some more, but I highly doubt that Randy Orton would just be like, "Oh, Fox 10 Productions, what's this?" Eh, Especially the way WWE is, like the way they're getting with third party stuff and taking interviews outside of the company and that sort of thing. I just don't see a guy like Randy Orton all of a sudden popping up in my live chat. That's why I said if it's him, go to Twitter @TopRopeWT and hit follow. And I want to see a blue check mark. I want to see your Twitter following us. And then I'll know it's you, and then I will apologize. And then I will try to schedule a fucking interview. But until then, I have a hard time believing that the Viper wants anything to do with somebody like me. Prove me wrong, Randall. Oh man, and you know what? And you know what, Mac? I've now flipped on the game, and I'm blown away that this game is actually tied this far into it, like less than 7 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Sorry, not wrestling related. I know, but I had to say it. And now back to wrestling. Oh man, that was slick by Bianca to get out of that Karafuda clutch. Oh snap! And she eliminated Shayna. Wow. But I thought Bianca got drafted to SmackDown. So like, okay. Yeah, I don't know if you want to come to the US right now, Kevin. Just with the way the pandemic is and the way it's being handled, I'm not sure if it's the best time now. So maybe get a little time, get your stuff together, and then maybe. Oh, there goes Bianca. Well, that sucks. I'm trying to figure out. Okay, I see Lacey, I see Natalia. We got Liv and Ruby. That's our final four here in this battle royal. At least Asuka will get somebody new in the ring with her for the Raw Women's title. Because it won't be Zelina again, and it won't be Sasha Banks for the I don't know manyth time. So at least we'll get something new. I have been wanting to see Shayna versus Asuka for the longest time, and probably since Royal Rumble last year, or at the beginning of this year. And obviously, I'm not going to get that. So, well, there goes Liv and Ruby. So it's either going to be Natalia or it's going to be Lacey Evans. I was just saying I wouldn't mind seeing Lacey versus Asuka, so I'm kind of rooting for her right now. Oh, for sure, Black Lives Matter, Kevin. That's yeah. No, we've been saying that long before it became trending on Twitter. Oh, definitely. Latin Lives Matter. We love everybody at TRWT. Okay. Always have, always will. Everybody matters to Top Rope Wrestling Talk. Oh man, this is getting dramatic. Lacey's hanging on by like 1 foot. Oh, now Natalia's inches away. Not so fast, ladies. We still got 3 minutes. You got to drag this out. Oh my God, bad idea, Lacey. Bad idea. Oh, ouch. Wait a minute. What? Why not just jump back in the ring and eliminated Natalia? What? Are you kidding me? Lana's gonna get a shot at Asuka, and she screwed her tag team partner for it. Wow. Oh, I don't know. The Viper looked like he was right in the chat. He was saying, "Wait for the end of the show," and look, there he is. Yeah, I still know it wasn't him. Do I know McAllen? The name sounds familiar, Kevin. Man, I can't get over Lana winning this battle royal the way she did, and now we got Drew and Randy. Could that really have been the Viper in our chat? No. I don't think he was saying, wait for the end of the show. They're gonna come break us up as Drew is beating my ass. I don't think that's what he was saying. Oh, a city in Texas. Yeah, that's where okay. Because Wendy is originally from Texas, and I think she's brought it up before, so it definitely sounded familiar, but I couldn't put it together because I'm a little tired and my mind's in a different place. I apologize. Yeah, Wendy lives in Virginia now, but she was where we live in the same state, but Wendy came from Texas, and I came from Philadelphia, and she's mentioned that before, and it just didn't ring in my head until because I was all up in wrestling mode. Sorry. Yes, we get it. You're Drew. You're Randy. You're mad. We know. No, believe me. As much as I'd love to see either guys like you, Peta, or even Kevin, I wouldn't recommend coming to the US anytime soon. At least not yet. But when the time's right, yes, love to see you. All right, so that pretty much wraps up the show and the draft. There were a few moments in it. The Elias moment was definitely surprising. Um, Bray going to Raw, I think, is going to be big. I could definitely see him being like let's be honest, Drew's next challenger, since we almost are guaranteed that Randy Orton is not winning this belt. I don't care if he shows up in my live chat or not. Um, I definitely enjoyed the women's battle royal. I was not expecting the finish with Lana getting rid of Natalia and getting a shot at Asuka. That's insane. Oh shit! I'm sorry, my TV came back on. It came back on. My bad. Um, the final round was kind of meh, but the rest of it was definitely good. Um, I'm gonna check out the end of this Monday Night Football game, but before I do, I want to thank you guys for hanging in for 3 hours with me. I appreciate it. I loved all the comments and the chats, even the supposed alleged appearance from Randy Orton. Please get some sleep, Peta. I know it's getting early or late or wherever you want to come, wherever you whatever you want to call it over there in the United Kingdom. Um, Definitely shout out to you. Shout out to Kevin, Mac, all the guys that showed up today. So good to have you around. So good to talk wrestling with you all night long. And we want to, if you don't know, let me give you the opportunity to continue these kind of conversations with us when we're not live. You can find us on Facebook at Top Rope Wrestling Talk. Well, that's probably our largest group. It's where we started. We have great members. It's a great group. We do things a lot differently than most groups on Facebook. Please invite yourself in, get in our pick forms, get whatever, enjoy us there. If you're not on Facebook, you can find us on Twitter at Top Rope WT. We have a lot of we're starting to develop a big following there. We have a lot of other wrestling shows. We have a lot of other wrestlers as followers. um oh, you have a great night too, Kevin. Thank you for sticking around. And you can also find us on Instagram at top underscore rope underscore wrestling underscore talk. There we go, nailed it again in one take that, Brucey. Definitely our newest social media, but we're getting a following going. We've got a lot of fun stuff up there, a lot of original memes, a lot of contests, great content. Check that out too. And obviously Fox Den Productions on YouTube is where we go live and where we do everything with our fans and with people that just want to come in and ask questions and chat along during our draft coverage or our episodes. And definitely come subscribe if you haven't. If you're watching now, it's 2 clicks. You click on the Fox Den logo in the corner of my screen, and then you click subscribe, and you're in, and it's that easy. If you want to check out audio versions of this podcast, you can go to anchor.fm/TRWT. We've definitely been getting a bigger following. We are basically everywhere podcasts can be enjoyed. You will find most of them on our Anchor page. You'll find iTunes, Spotify, the whole nine. The only one that you can't find there because I can't link them is a link to iHeartRadio. But you can find us there. A lot of people already have. Just go to iHeartRadio, search for Top Rope Wrestling Talk, and we pop right up. So enjoy us on the go. Follow us there. Subscribe to us. Rate us. Review us. And have a great night, guys. We will be back at full strength, Wendy, Bruce, and I, on Thursday, and we'll get their take on the WWE draft, on the week that was, preview a few things, have some fun with you guys once again. But until then, please stay safe out there, wear your mask, don't be a low key. And as Grandma Wendy always says at the end of every show, stay fresh, cheese bags. Night, guys.